They said the Earth was silent, that nothing lived below 12 kilometers. They were wrong. In the far northwest corner of Russia, past the tundra and snow, there's a sealed metal cap in the ground. It's welded shut. No markings, no guards. Just an abandoned platform surrounded by rusted machinery and silence. This is what remains of the Kola Superdeep Borehole, the deepest hole ever drilled by humankind. And according to the few who worked there, not everyone who went down came back. Construction began in 1970. The Soviet Union wanted to reach the Earth's mantle to study the secrets buried beneath the crust. At first, it was a project of pride, a feat of engineering. The goal? 15 kilometers down. But by 1989, after nearly 20 years of continuous drilling, they reached 12,262 meters, over 40,000 feet. No one on Earth had ever gone deeper. Temperatures at that depth reached 356 degrees Fahrenheit. Drills melted, steel twisted, electronic instruments failed, one after another. Still, they continued. They said it wasn't just about science anymore. It was about proving who could reach the center first. But deep inside the granite, the readings stopped making sense. Vibrations didn't match any known seismic signature. Pressure fluctuations as if the rock were breathing. And then, one day, the drill string snapped. Workers heard it recoil from below, not like metal breaking, but like something pulling back. When they lifted the remaining cable, the tip of the drill was blackened, melted from the inside out. That's when the disappearances began. Officially, no one ever went down. The borehole was too narrow for a person. Unofficially, there are stories. Engineers spoke of maintenance shafts built beside the main bore, access tunnels descending hundreds of meters used to monitor secondary sensors. And the people assigned to those shafts, they were never seen again. One of them was Mikhail Abramov, a technician stationed at the site in 1984. His last recorded log entry reads, "Pressure unstable, instruments show movement, not mechanical." That was the last transmission. When workers checked his descent line hours later, the cable had been severed clean, as if by heat. The Soviet Ministry of Geology filed it as equipment loss. No mention of a body, no mention of a name. A geologist who later emigrated to Norway told reporters something was alive down there. He said the rock vibrated like muscle tissue, and that, at certain depths, the sound of drilling turned rhythmic, like breathing. By 1992, the project was suddenly shut down. The official reason? Technical difficulties due to excessive heat. Unofficially, the workers refused to continue. They said they'd heard something, a sound no one can explain. Then, faint screaming buried under static. The recording exists, or at least that's what the rumors say. In the late 1980s, a Finnish newspaper reported a claim from a group of engineers near the Kola site. They said the borehole's geophones, devices used to record seismic activity, had captured something unexpected. At a depth of around 12 kilometers, the microphones registered heat spikes and vibrations unlike anything geological. When the data was translated into audible frequency, it produced a sound that still circulates online today. A mixture of wind, echoes, and faint, overlapping human voices. To the scientists, it was a distortion. To the workers, it was something else. One technician described it as thousands of people screaming. Another said it sounded like steel bending inside flesh. Western tabloids later named it the Well to Hell, but Soviet files reference it by another name, Acoustic Anomalies Zone 12. And here is the sound. According to a 1987 internal report later leaked to the press, temperatures had exceeded 1100 degrees Celsius in certain chambers. That's hot enough to liquefy metal, yet they still recorded movement. One paragraph, redacted in later versions, mentions a cavity with atmospheric resonance. In plain language, an open space deep within the solid rock, a hollow place where there shouldn't be one. When the recordings were played back to a small team of scientists, 2 of them reportedly collapsed. One refused to return to work. Another resigned the same day. To this day, no verified copy of that recording has surfaced. Only bootleg audio, said to have come from the original tape, screams echoing through layers of static. Skeptics say it's fake, but the real horror isn't whether the sound was human. It's that no one ever explained what caused it. By 1995, the Kola Superdeep site was abandoned. The shaft was sealed, the upper section filled with concrete, the opening welded shut. Today, it looks like nothing more than a rusted metal disc in the middle of frozen tundra. No guards, no fences, just a circular lid over a 40,000-foot tunnel to nowhere. Visitors say if you stand near it long enough, you can hear the faint hum of air moving inside. Others claim it's the wind, but satellite readings from the area show minor thermal anomalies even today. Warm spots beneath the surface, in a place that should be permafrost. Local hunters in Murmansk whisper about light beneath the snow, and about a hum that never stops, a low pulse you can feel in your chest. The few surviving engineers deny everything. One, now in his 80s, said in an interview, "It was not hell, it was Earth, and that was worse." Western scientists often call the well to hell a story of urban legend, a mix of Cold War paranoia and religious hysteria. But the files say otherwise. Documents archived by the Russian Academy of Sciences confirm multiple seismic events near the Borehole during the 1980s. Brief, intense bursts of vibration not caused by drilling. A 1984 memo classified under acoustic anomalies described periodic sonic interference inconsistent with known crustal noise. In 1997, a research team tried to revisit the site. They were denied access. The ground around the borehole was unstable, they said, but satellite imagery showed new concrete poured that same year. It's unclear whether it was meant to reinforce the structure or to bury something deeper. Today, even scientists who dismiss the screams admit one thing. Something happened down there. Something they can't replicate. Some say the heat readings were caused by friction. Others believe the drill penetrated a pocket of compressed gas. But none of those theories explain the audio. None explain the missing workers. And none explain why the entire operation was suddenly sealed, with no final report. There's a plate of steel in the tundra. No sign, no warning, just a quiet hum of air beneath the earth. For decades, the Kola Superdeep borehole was humanity's attempt to see what lay below. But some doors aren't meant to be opened. The deepest hole on Earth isn't measured in meters. It's measured in what we weren't supposed to hear. They say the sound was just interference, but if you listen closely, when the wind dies and the ground grows still, you might hear it too.